We're on Chullin Perek Gimel, Mishnah Aleph. First Mishnah in the third chapter, Masechet Chullin. This is a parak called Elu Tereifot. Tereifot are wounds or blemishes for which the animal wouldn't survive. So, in order to understand this, the Kahati brings the introduction of the Rambam. The Rambam, this is the Rambam Perek Dalit of the laws of Ma'achalot Asura, forbidden foods. The Rambam talks about what is a Tereifah. So the Torah says the following. The Torah says, "Ubasar basadet Tereifah." The meat of basadet Tereifah, the field that's a Tereifah, lo tochelu. You can't eat it. Lakelo tashlichu. You must send it to you must give it to the dogs. So what is this idea of Tereifah? So as we know, there are two types of prohibited animals. When I say animals in this case, I mean from kosher animals that are kosher, that they chew their cud, and they spit hooves, they're kosher animals. But in this case, you can have what's called a nevela. Nevela means the animal is dead. It was killed before shechita. It was a kosher animal, but nonetheless, it was not checked properly. Or a treifah. What is this idea of treifah? So we have to go back to the Rambam. Treifah in the Torah, zusha tarfa oto chayat hayar. It was mauled, by an animal in the forest, like could go an ariv and a mare, like a lion or a leopard, etc., or a bird that was okay, or like a marauding bird. Okay, you can't say that it was mauled and killed. Why? That's what's called the nevela. We have an nevela. It's dead. What's the difference if the animal dies on its own, or somebody kills it, or some other animal kills it? So the pasuk is talking about a case where it was mauled, but it did not die. Okay. Well, let's skip a little bit. Okay. Halamara that we learn from here, etc. The treifah in the Torah is a treifah that was it was mauled by an animal in the forest, which broke it. Vinotat lamut, and it is going to die. It is leaning to die. V'adayin lo meta, but it didn't die yet. Even though the owner of the animal, kadam, came came early and slaughtered it. Kodem shetamud, before it died. Harezo azura mishum treifah. It's died because of treifah. Since it won't live, this is the principle. It won't live, okay, from the wound that it has, from the wound that it inflicted. You learn from this. The Torah forbade that which is nevela. The asra hanotalam, it also forbade the animal which is going to die, machmad makotea, from its injuries, even though it's not dead, and that's called a treifah. And just as there's no difference, the Rambam says, between whether it was mauled or not mauled, whether somebody, injured it or didn't injure it, or similarly, there's no difference if it's going to die. Ben shenafla min agag, whether it fell from the roof and it broke all its limbs, etc., or ben shezarak bachetz, whether it was shot with an arrow, okay, and it had a fatal wound, a hole in its lung or its heart, ben shebava choli machmat atzma, or whether it got sick on its own, wasn't mauled. In all those cases, since it's bleeding to die, harezo treifah. That's a treifah. Okay, so now our Mishnah is going to talk about all the signs of treifot in these animals, and that mean that it has a fatal wound from which it cannot recover. Elu treifot b'behema, and this is what it says when animals treifot, taref. Okay, nikuvata veset, if the veset is punctured, the windpipe is punctured. Sukata gargoret, or if the gargeret. I'm going to use the English because it's esophagus was piped, or the windpipe separate. I always confuse those two. Okay, sukata gargeret, or the windpipe was interrupted. Nikav krum shel hamoach. Okay, the lining of the brain has a hole in it. Now, I'm not going to go into all of these things. I'm not a veterinarian or a shochet, but we're going to learn the terms and translate them as the Mishnah translates them. Nikav halev lebeit chalalo. If the heart became punctured, nekev has a hole in it. Lebeit chalalo. Let's look and see what that means. Okay, heart was pierced as far its cavity thereof, into its cavity. Okay, nishbara hashidra v'nisaka chut shala. if the spine was broken and the spinal cord obviously was severed. Nital hakaved, if the liver was removed, lo nishtarim and there was no liver at all in this animal. Hare'ah shenikva, okay, if there was a hole in the lung, o shechasra, or is missing. Rabbi Shimon says, Al shetinakeh bebeit simponot, until it becomes punctured in the beit simponot is the beit simponot is the bronchial tubes. Here's the re'ah. Here is the lung. If you must know, if that'll help you. Okay. Nikva hakeva, if the keva is the stomach, became punctured. Nikva hamara. Mara is the bladder, the gallbladder. Here we are. If the stomach or the gallbladder was pierced, or the intestines, we'll see in a second. Nikvu hadakin, the intestines. Hakeres hapnimish nikva. Okay, the inner stomach was punctured. Oshanikra rova chitzona, or the majority of the outer stomach was torn. Okay, Rabbi Yehuda says Hagdola tefach v'aktana beruba. The large stomach and a cow, I think, has 4 stomachs. I don't know. I'm not. Again, I haven't done shlita. The large stomach is a tefach. If it was torn, a tefach, and the smaller one, the v'aktana beruba. The smaller one, if it's cut, I'm sorry, gdola, a large animal in the stomach. If the stomach is torn, a tefach. V'aktana, a small animal, if the stomach is torn, mostly. Let's look at the Bartenura for a second. You can see there's a lot of commentary. B'shor gadol indigra tefach tereifah, a large animal and a large ox, even if it's not the majority. Ube'egel katan, and a small calf, mitarfa beruba. If it's torn, mostly. Hamises ubeit kosot shenikvu lachutz. Okay, let's look that up. Okay, hamises ubeit kosot. If the asamum, the third stomach of the ruminant, was pierced, or if the second stomach is pierced on the outside. Okay, you'll look that up if you really want to know what it means. Well, let's continue. Drus. Naflamin hagag. Okay. If it fell from a roof, if it broke most of its ribs, the wolf mauled it. The mauling of the wolf for a small animal, a mauling of a lion for a large animal. A netz is a small bird, I think. If it was mauled by a hawk, okay, large. If it was small fowl mauled by a hawk, large fowl mauled by a falcon. Somebody does falconing. Zaklal, this is the rule. That's the general rule of Tereifah. If it won't live, okay, if it wouldn't live similarly, then it's a Tereifah. So I want to point out something important. This is a big one. If the lung was punctured. So you might have heard of the term glat. Glat means smooth. So if you look at the Bartenura, he talks specifically about whether there's what's called sirchot shibareya. Okay, reya shenikva, where a lung that was punctured. As you call it, sirchot shibareya. Sirchot are lesions on the reya. Why? Because ein sircha below nekev. There's no lesion if there isn't a puncture. This is a big deal. Glat means smooth. So one of the things that they do, they don't check every limb of the animal when they checked it. They do check the limb, and they inflate it, and they check the limb to see if it's smooth. And so there, obviously, if you've heard the term glat kosher, glat means smooth. That means a lung with no, like Sfardim are very, very makbid. Some Sfardim that there should be no sirchot, no lesions at all. There are certain kinds of lesions. You have to ask a shofet. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak. Have a good day.